A humble janitor, always quiet and kind, is mocked by arrogant executives for being just a cleaner. But when the company hits a crisis, he steps in, not as staff, but as the secret majority owner. In a moment of poetic justice, those who looked down on him now stand speechless. The story unfolds with deep emotional arcs, workplace ego clashes, hidden identities, and a powerful ending of redemption and moral justice. The elevators chimed with authority at Lexington Tower, New York City's prestigious corporate high-rise. Polished shoes clicked over marble tiles, and suits buzzed with coffee-fueled ambition. But beneath all the shine, mopping quietly near the lobby's glass doors, was an old janitor named Mr. Vernon Cole. With graying hair, tired eyes, and a gentle smile, he swept the same floor every day, unnoticed and unimportant in the eyes of most. The executives barely nodded. One of them, Dylan Marks, the loudest and youngest VP, sneered as he passed. "Bet this guy doesn't even make in a month what I blew on lunch," he laughed. The others chuckled. Vernon heard it. He just kept mopping, softly humming a tune from the 80s. The insult didn't reach his heart. He had seen far worse in his life. The boardroom on the 45th floor buzzed with tension. The company, Axon Technologies, was facing a critical product failure, and investors were threatening to pull out. Panic pulsed through the executive team. They needed a miracle, or a mind that could see beyond the numbers. Back in the lobby, Vernon finished his shift and quietly exited through the back. He passed unnoticed, just as always. The next morning, Dylan walked through the lobby, sipping his overpriced coffee. He spotted Vernon again, kneeling beside the elevators, fixing a loose tile. "Careful, old man," Dylan smirked. "You might hurt your back doing real work." Vernon looked up and gave a small nod, his expression calm. "Thank you, sir. I'll be careful." Dylan laughed and strutted into the elevator. He never saw the subtle glance the receptionist gave Vernon, a glance filled with respect. Meanwhile, in a dark room on the 50th floor, a confidential meeting was underway. 3 senior board members, all hand-picked by the company's original founder, sat in front of a laptop. On the screen, a file marked Ownership Transfer Agreement, Vernon Cole. One of them whispered, "If things don't improve soon, we're activating the clause." The founder was clear. Vernon becomes acting owner if ethical collapse threatens the brand. "Let's pray it doesn't come to that," the other said grimly. They closed the file. No one in the building knew the truth. That afternoon, Vernon quietly entered the staff lounge during his break. A few junior employees sat near the vending machine. "Hey, Mr. Cole," one of them smiled. "You all right?" "I'm just fine, Marcus," Vernon replied warmly. "Heard your baby girl's walking now." "Yeah," Marcus beamed. "How'd you remember that?" Vernon winked. "People matter, not titles." He walked away slowly, while Marcus looked after him, puzzled. That janitor knew things. No one expected him to. It happened on a Wednesday. A massive system crash brought the company's operations to a halt. Files vanished. Client communications went dead. Panicked employees rushed through the halls. In the executive conference room, chaos ruled. Dylan banged his fist on the table. "Get it in here! Now!" The CTO looked pale. "It's not just us. Someone breached our internal servers. We're exposed." No one had answers, but everyone had fear. In the hallway outside, Vernon quietly mopped a spill. A senior accountant, her hands shaking, dropped a folder beside him. I think I just lost $2 million in unaccounted invoices." Vernon gently picked it up. He glanced at the numbers. Then he paused. He muttered softly, "Line 22, recalculate. The decimal's in the wrong place." She stared at him, frozen. "What?" He smiled. "It's all right. Just a decimal. Happens to the best of us." She looked down at the folder and gasped. He was right. In the next hour, multiple departments turned to Vernon. Quietly, desperately. No one said it aloud. But the janitor was fixing what executives couldn't. A few employees whispered, "He used to be someone big, right?" "No way! He's just the janitor." But doubt had entered, and it was growing. Meanwhile, Dylan ordered a PR cover-up. "Tell the clients it's a routine update," the CTO protested. "That's dishonest. It'll blow up." Dylan snapped, "I said do it!" At that moment, the door creaked open. Vernon stepped inside, mop in hand. Quiet. Observing. Everyone turned. Silence fell. Vernon cleared his throat. "I'd like to speak," he said. Dylan laughed. "You? Speak in this room? You clean floors." The legal director stood up slowly. "Let him speak." Dylan snapped, "What's going on?" The CFO took out a black binder, opened it. Inside, the founder's emergency clause, a document, with Vernon's name, signed 22 years ago, effective immediately. Dylan's mouth went dry. This is some kind of joke." The CFO didn't blink. "It's real. Vernon Cole placed his shares in a blind trust 2 decades ago. If a breach of ethical conduct ever risked the company's future, the founder had the right to return." He turned to Vernon. "Sir, as of now, you have full controlling interest. You can fire the entire board." The room erupted. Voices clashed. "He can't run this. He's a janitor. He abandoned this company." Vernon stayed calm. "I never left. I just stopped being seen." Vernon turned to Dylan. "I built this company from a one-room server and a second-hand laptop. When I sold the controlling stake, I made one condition: ethics above profits." He looked around the boardroom. "And yet, you mocked employees, faked reports, hid breaches, and treated people as tools, not humans." No one spoke. Vernon stepped closer to Dylan. "You fired people for being 5 minutes late, but never noticed who stayed all night. You wore the title of CEO, but never earned leader." He held out an envelope. "You're done." Dylan stood, trembling. "You can't do this," Vernon said quietly. "I just did." Then he turned to the staff watching through the glass wall. The janitors, the interns, the single mothers in accounting, the security guards, the ones who were invisible. He opened the boardroom door. "I'm not here to replace greed with power. I'm here to rebuild respect." He looked directly at the security guard who once stopped him at the lobby. "You still want me to sign the visitor's log?" The man looked down, ashamed. I'm sorry, sir." Vernon smiled. "Don't be. You were doing your job, with more integrity than most here." He turned back inside. "I'm not firing everyone, but things will change. Starting now." The boardroom emptied slowly. Executives whispered apologies or left in stunned silence. Some packed their things. Others just sat, still trying to process that the janitor had been their silent judge all along. Vernon stood by the window, looking over the city skyline. A younger employee, Nia, the one who often stayed late cleaning up reports no one read, walked up hesitantly. "Sir, you remember me?" He nodded. "Nia Jackson, you fix problems others leave behind. I've watched you every week." Her eyes filled with tears. "No one's ever said that." Vernon smiled. Starting today, you'll shadow the new operations team, if you're willing. She nodded, stunned. He walked out to the main floor. To everyone who felt unseen, I saw you. Every coffee spill wiped without thanks, every silent overtime, every ignored suggestion. From now on, this company sees you. A quiet applause began. Then it grew, standing ovation from the people who never got one. Later, in his quiet corner office, restored from the old founder's suite, Vernon pulled out a photo. His son, gone too young. A prodigy who once dreamed of working in the company his father built. A car crash stole that dream years ago. That was the day Vernon gave up the title and picked up the mop. He wanted to walk among the ordinary to remember what mattered. People, dignity, legacy. Months passed. Under Vernon's quiet leadership, the company transformed. Executives attended humility training. Entry-level employees got mentorship. Bonuses were tied not just to revenue, but ethics. One day, Vernon walked into the janitor's closet, old mop in hand. A young new janitor asked, "Sir, why are you still cleaning?" Vernon smiled. Because no job is beneath anyone. And because sometimes the floor shows more truth than the boardroom. Final line. He started as a janitor, rose as a CEO, and lived as a human first.